we got our Bowmasters. We got Source for black mana. We could even do a turn 1 Training Grounds because our opponent's going first. Yeah, I don't mind this. Let's try this. Also, we're on the Hobbit background, which is such a cute background. Like, with the noise, the soundtrack, our little int pet here accommodating it, the second breakfast, being able to eat the treats here, even eat the pie, move the little horse thing. The Arena team did a lot of fun with this board design, not gonna lie. They did an excellent time with this board design. Okay, so light game shenanigans, eh? Well, we're going to choose Jetmir. We're going to untap and hold up our Bowmaster or our Fairy Mastermind. Let's see what our opponent plays here. Yep. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, they're going... Okay. That's actually good to know. Because we can just ping this real quick. And then here... we really can't attack in, so we just pass the turn. Perfect. I'm going to play the Fairy Mastermind here. The reason why we did that is because our opponent's going to draw a card. We're going to deal a point of damage to them, but then we draw a card against the Fairy Mastermind. Our opponent's going to deal 2 damage in the air. We don't care. Boo! Then, the awkwardness here is we don't have mana for the... we don't have mana for essentially Shield Rift, but we do have mana for Jace, which we can just do this to keep this in check. We'll swing 2 in the air. The reason why it's good to negative free this is due to the way how Valet works. It doubles each power anytime with the Alliance trigger. So, like here, it's just going to double and just still be a negative, essentially. So, very good. Ooh, 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 hoo, hoo. We got some sauce here. Got some sauce. Okay, let's think here. Whoop, sorry, that's a timer I had. There we go. Okay, let's think here. We went to our opponent we're thinking here. Okay, here's the thing. It's probably better still to keep this Devilish Valet in check, so that's probably what we're going to do. There is also temptation just to play this, just so that we can deal 2 points of damage. But the problem is, 2 points of damage won't deal with anything. Yeah, I think here the play is we gotta keep this in check. And then just play Jinx-Tatius, because then next turn we can draw some extra cards. Yeah, that's probably the better play here. Our opponent would draw an extra card. That works with the Bowmaster, so let's make this awkward. Let's ping the Valet. Are we dead? Maybe. Well, no matter what, we're going to be blocking Jetmir if they attack with Jetmir. That's a bit of a no-brainer. They decide to just go attack Jace and nothing else.
This won't affect our greater plans.
Yeah, I think here, no matter what, we're gonna draw 2. And force our opponent to draw 2 as well. And... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this works because we're just going to name that. We're going to untap. And we could either Felsteiner to deal 2 damage to them, but I think here I'm just going to do this again. That way we can draw cards. Gonna keep one of the ballets in check.
You can be made to obey.
And we'll just discard these tap lands, essentially. We could flip Jin Katatsius next turn if we want to, if we don't not dead this turn. The good news is the big army is going to keep one of the valets in check at the very least. Though not the Hell Crew, so that's something to keep in mind. Well, let's at least deal with one of these Prosperous Innkeepers, because double life trigger would not be splendid for us. Okay, they go for the Brutal Kafar. Hitting what exactly? Yeah, makes sense to hit the Bowmaster. They've been a bit of a trouble on their side, so to speak. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, if our opponent attacks with the valet, we're going to block with the army. They decide not to, though. Well, I think here we're just going to play the training grounds. Flip our Jin Katatsius. Have access to a lot of cards. Okay, I need to remember how this works. Okay, so they return all non-fletching creatures to their owner's hand. That's including our army and our fairy mastermind, so we gotta keep that in mind. I kinda almost want to do this. Play another Jace.
Come subdued.
Legendary rule the new Jace. Just to keep these valets in check while we're waiting for the massive, kind of like big scoop, so to speak. Then we'll just play another Fairy Mastermind. And we pass the turn. There's Brutal Kafar number 2. Hitting the Fairy Mastermind, so we don't draw as many extra cards. Yeah, that makes sense. Did our opponent read the second step of the saga? Did our opponent? Well, our opponent's about to find out the final step of the saga. I should have full control. The trigger is there upon Boastful Fletching. They do gain a lot of life, though, so maybe they were thinking a lot more ahead of this than I thought. Well, nevertheless, we play Shieldred. We play an untapped land. We'll play the second training grounds. Then we will play this. Exploit the army here. Force our opponent to draw the cards. So that we can deal 2 damage to them with the Bowmaster, as well as make them lose 2 life with 4 life with Shieldred. Just say no creatures. Wow, this is a really silly game. On the bright side, we're forcing our opponent to kind of like rebuild their board state here, which is going to be a good thing on our end. Then this gets to the final step, so I may cast any number of cards from my hand. We got a good couple to cast for free, not gonna lie. Oh, they're gonna go with the Cabaret Rebels trick. Okay, let's see how they cook this. Okay, they're probably gonna exile the Shieldred, is going to be my logical guess here. Makes sense. They go with the Prosperous Innkeeper. Makes sense. They play another Prosperous Innkeeper. Makes sense. Well, not Prosperous Innkeeper. Aspirant to grow up the Voice of the Blessed. Makes sense. And, well, time to show off what this deck can do. So, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. 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 And that. First, Shieldred resolves. We're going to sacrifice our army. Force our opponent to draw. Yes, please. Then we can Bowmaster down the Brutal Cathar. Yes. Draw some cards, gain some life, draw some cards, gain some life. Okay, I'm going to full control this because this is hilarious. While that spell is on the stack, we're going to play our other Orcish Bowmaster. We'll deal 1 damage to this. Now we're going to each draw cards. We'll deal 1 damage to that. 1 damage to that. 1 damage to that. 1 damage to that. Make our opponent drain a lot. We're going to do the same thing again. We don't have any Bowmasters in hand, so we're just going to target our opponent again. Draw some cards. Deal damage. Deal damage. Peen our opponent. Peen our opponent. Drain our opponent. Do we have any untapped lands here? Yes, we do. Perfect. So the way we're going to do this is make sure we activate this right. Oh, wait, they're discounted to 1 mana. What am I thinking? Okay. So then we're going to do this. We're going to force our opponent to discard a card. Then they draw a card. So then now we use Orcish Bowmaster to essentially deal damage. Deal damage. Then we're going to do that again. Deal damage. Deal damage. Then, we're going to play the Bellsteiner here. Sacrifice, let's say, one of the Scorpions. Force our opponent to draw 2 cards again. Do 2 damage. 4 damage. And that should finish them off. Good game, opponent. Wow. Oh, that's going up on YouTube as a featured match.